Hello everyone and welcome back to my B&B Everyday YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. At the precipice house, Brooke tells Taylor she knows what she saw. You were sitting in Ridge's stage, straddling him. Taylor says the healer told them to do that for her broken heart pattern. Brooke sighs, broken heart pattern please. The Golden thinks this is ridiculous gibberish. Taylor demurs that it's a real thing. She was skeptical at first as well, but it's been verified by a cardiologist. Further B&B Halloween exercise, Ridge arrives at Eric's place, where his father tells him he doesn't like to get involved in his particular life, but when he senses implicit trouble, he has to. What's going on then with you and Taylor? Eric says he spoke to Brooke before, and she was perturbed about all the time he's been spending with Taylor. Ridge says he was just at Steffi's with Taylor. Eric says Brooke was headed over to Steffi's. Ridge frowns. He didn't see her there. They sit, and Ridge tells his pater. There's an explanation. Taylor aloud. She was dying. In Finn's office, Steffi watches her hubby take off his shirt, and asks him how he puts in a killer shift and still looks so sexy. He wants to show her how hot and sexy she is, and pulls her into a passionate kiss. They make out, and Finn suggests they take this home since the kiddies have sleepovers. Steffi explains that her pater asked to use their place tonight. There's commodity going on with her mama. It makes her wonder what her parents are over to. Finn's regaled that she's guessing what's going on with Taylor and Ridge. Steffi thinks it's only natural to wonder. Finn thinks it's sweet. He's kind of wondering himself. Perhaps it's possible your parents are getting back together. At Eric's place, Ridge has told him about Taylor's broken heart pattern and explains she's had to face some painful recollections, effects she had dealt with. Eric learns that tonight she had a advance. Ridge tells his father about Chandra the healer. He says it was so amazing. He and Taylor were locked together and breathing as one. There was an emotional, beautiful release. He tears up. Eric thinks it sounds veritably important. He's happy for Taylor. He's not sure how Brooke will feel about it. Ridge says that's why he wants to talk to he about it. Eric's relieved that Taylor's okay. At the precipice house, Taylor tells Brooke she had all the classic symptoms of heart failure. It wasn't until she saw Grace Buckingham that she learned she had broken heart pattern. She realizes Brooke is still skeptical. Brooke will do her own exploration. She knows Taylor wouldn't lie about her health. She wouldn't be that manipulative. But she doesn't really trust her. She thinks it's a way to get back into Ridge's life anyhow of what she told her. What exactly is your intention with Ridge going forward? She asks. In Finn's office, Steffi tells her hubby she's not playing matchmaker for her parents this time, but she thinks they'd be great together and her pater would be much happier that he's with Brooke. Finn urges her not to tell Brooke that. He gets an announcement and has to check on a case. He tells Steffi he'll make it up to her after and suggests she head home. He also remembers her parents are there, and teases her about not interposing. At the precipice house, Brooke learns that Taylor didn't set up the healer. Ridge did. He's been minding improbative. Brooke notes, which you took full advantage of. Taylor had no intention of Ridge chancing out, but she swooned one day when he was there. Brooke chirps, Ridge to the deliverance. Taylor told him not to say anything, but she's sure he'll tell her now. Brooke warns her not to go after Ridge. Steffi comes in as Taylor tells Brooke she's feeling so much better after tonight. I do'n't need a man, Brooke. I do'n't. Brooke exits. Steffi asks, what was that each about? At home, Brooke closes her laptop and thinks back to seeing Taylor straddling Ridge. She's putting embrocation on her hands when Ridge comes by and says he's sorry he was late. His pater wanted to see him. Brooke knows he was with Taylor. She admits she brazened Taylor after he left. Ridge assumes she knows also. Brooke nods. She told her about her broken heart pattern. Brooke says she sounded to be in perfect health when she came home, but also she swooned in front of him. She didn't suppose broken heart pattern was a real thing. Ridge says Taylor aloud. She was dying, so they went to see Dr. Buckingham. It turned out she wasn't dying, but she's going to need treatment. Brooke asks if what was going on tonight was the treatment. I saw everything. I saw what was going on. I need you to tell me what's going on with your ex-wife. At the precipice house, Taylor tells Steffy that Brooke came over unasked and saw her and Ridge together. It's not what she thinks. They were working on balancing her chakras. Steffy tricks chakras. Taylor explains that she came back to be close to her and the kiddies, but there was another reason. She's been dealing with commodity on her own until lately, when she opened up to Ridge. Steffy asks if commodity is wrong. Taylor wants her to understand that she didn't tell her because she wanted to spare her. Steffy says she's starting to scarify her. Taylor tells her she came back because she allowed. She had heart complaint. I allowed. I was dying. Steffy gasps. Brooke Logan and Ridge Forrester's relationship is bound to take a dive soon. Although Brooke and Ridge were suitable to work effects out after the whole chakra debacle, that surely wouldn't be the last time a misreading causes drama. Loves to produce scripts where characters get the wrong idea and turn their tails on their separate mates. We all flash back how Ridge went chasing after Taylor Hayes when he inaptly believed Brooke was behind that CPS call. Of course, there have been innumerous other exemplifications of wrong hypotheticals and misleading dilemmas over the times. Adulatory confusion is fated to be used as numerous times as B&B can fit it into their stories. With that in mind, we should suppose about what misreading the show might use coming. Could the pens produce a blend-up that involves Brooke's attempt to play matchmaker for Bill Spencer and Katie Logan after Brooke got updates on Bill's failed reunion pitch? She pledged to talk to Katie for him. Katie feels like Bill might choose her family over her if Brooke was available, so that's been a chain when it comes to rejuvenating anything romantically. At some point, it's easy to imagine Katie opening up to Ridge and planting some seeds that could grow into a problem laterally. Katie might complain about Bill's former obsession on Brooke, and contend she just can't get past it. In the meantime, Brooke might decide she can do better than just talking to Katie. Maybe Brooke will play matchmaker and produce a bit of a romantic trap for Katie and Bill. It might indeed be commodity that Bill and Brooke platoon up on, which could add to the confusion of it all. Ridge might find some unsettling suggestions and jump to the conclusion that Brooke is sneaking off for a romantic rendezvous with Bill. There might be some eavesdropped exchanges between the spouses that leave Ridge allowing that Brooke has betrayed him. In other words, Brooke might try to play Cupid for Bill and Katie, only for Ridge to inaptly believe she's infidelity on him. That could give Ridge the green light to cheat with Taylor and blow up his relationship with Brooke in the process. Taylor Hayes revealed the story of how she set up she actually had broken heart pattern. So Steffy Forrester was curious about the healer Ridge Forrester hired. Steffy also sought updates on Brooke Logan's involvement, but Taylor explained that Brooke simply showed up and got in goddess. Taylor assumed Ridge was getting a lingo lashing from Brooke right about now. After Taylor talked about having a advance tonight, she knew she was meant to be there in Los Angeles with her family. Taylor admitted she was insecure when she ran down ahead, but now she felt like a whole new woman. At home with Brooke, Ridge tried to explain why Taylor was in his stage before. Although Ridge played up the advance Taylor had thanks to Chandra, Brooke wasn't happy that he did all this without her knowledge. Ridge knew how effects must have looked to Brooke, but he assured her that it was part of the mending process for Taylor. Brooke said Ridge shouldn't have been doing that disguise with High's ex-wife, and she added that he did commodity with Taylor that he'd no way done with her. Ridge was sorry for hurting Brooke, but she allowed. They could fix this as long as she was the only one doing special positions with him from now on. Brooke wound up getting in Ridge's stage on the bed, where they kissed and breathed together. Ridge assured Brooke that she was the only one for him, so Brooke looked pleased. Liam Spencer stopped by the design office to show Hope Logan a videotape he'd been working on for Hope for the Future's media splash. That videotape stressed Hope's fashion shows and included family prints of her with Liam, Douglas Forrester and Beth Spencer. Once Hope watched the videotape that sang her praises, she was surprised Liam didn't delegate this to someone differently. Liam talked about this getting a veritably particular design for him and claimed he'd to be the one to do it. After Liam said he wanted everyone to know who Hope was and everything she'd fulfilled, he admitted he couldn't stop allowing about her and their implicit future. Hope congratulated Liam's beautifully done videotape, but she acted like they'd formally put the idea of a reunion to rest. Liam ultimately prompted Hope to hear him out and dove in for a kiss that caught Hope off guard. Hope eventually pushed Liam down in shock before he confessed he'd been wanting to do that for a really long time. Liam's grim pursuit could come a bigger problem if Hope can't shut this down now, so we'll bring you more prognostications on any news that affects these spouses.